thank you for stopping by on our first ever vlog. We're hoping to be releasing one of these each week to now, and in this first video we are hoping to just introduce ourselves, give you a bit more information on what we're doing, where we've been, where we're going,
and what to expect from the channel. Obviously we're hoping to continue our travels in the foreseeable.
Yeah.
We've got no plans of stopping.
But your face remained the same. The sorrows will be here.
Okay, so just to begin with, my name is Charlotte. I'm originally from Leicester, so right in the centre of England.
And my name's Luke, originally from just outside of London, born in Kingston upon Thames.
We've been travelling for 10 months now. We left in January and we are now wanting to start sharing it all with you, from our ups and downs to our adventures and breakdowns.
So far we have travelled through the UK, France, Belgium, back through France again, Switzerland, Italy, Greece, Albania, Montenegro, Croatia, Slovenia. I don't know, I haven't mentioned Croatia. Was it Croatia?
Yeah, you just did.
Oh god.
He was doing so well up until then. So yeah, from Montenegro we went through Croatia into Slovenia, then to Austria, Czech Republic, and now we're in Germany.
From here we're going through the Netherlands and then back to the UK to get our annual service, MOT, and just some checks on the vehicle, ready for next year.
So from quite a young age we both moved to the south of Spain with our families, and so we actually met at school there at a lower college which is close to Portobanús, Marbella, on the Costa del Sol. So it was actually quite funny. On one of my first days at school, Luke came and sat next to me and I thought he was an absolute weirdo.
Turns out she may have been correct.
So I stayed at a lower college to finish my IB and then on to university in Manchester.
So after a lower, I went back to the UK, finished my final 2 years of college before then going to Lancaster University.
So fast forward a few years, I was graduating from university, Luke was working in Liverpool, and I ended up coming and working with Luke.
Couldn't bear for her to move to China.
Aww. So 1 year in, we decided to pack it all in. We bought our very first motorhome together and we've been running away from responsibilities and our adult life ever since.
So when we were looking for a motorhome, we couldn't decide between a van conversion or something much larger. In the end, we decided to go for an American RV. Not just because the looks, obviously the big great engine, it sounds amazing, it looks great, the space. We
decided to go for space and comfort as we're working on the road, so we're going to be travelling slowly. I really wanted separate living and bedroom space. I didn't want to be turning the bed into a sofa and vice versa every single day. We would have just been working from bed and eating pizza. It's okay sometimes.
I don't mind that. And I didn't want to have to be emptying the toilet every day because I doubt I would have had someone to help me with that one.
You're just so good at it.
So we bought her through the well-known auction site eBay.
Yeah, we actually purchased her without ever having viewed her, which was a bit of a gamble. But you'd been trawling through.
Yeah, we saw that she was listed for a good price. The guy who had listed her hadn't put the keywords in.
Hadn't advertised her very well at all.
Motorhome wasn't mentioned, RV wasn't mentioned,
camper van,
caravan, nothing like that was mentioned or in the correct categories. So
it was literally just the name and brand of the vehicle. Designer slider. Ford Jayco designer slider.
Yeah.
Who's going to use those search terms?
Not a clue how I found it either. Really don't know.
But yeah, so it was at a bargain price, so we thought it was too good to be true. We thought even if we bought her, spent a couple of grand on her, did her up a little bit and sold her on, even for a bit of profit, it would have been worthwhile. With knots in our stomach, one day in May 2017 at about 6 PM, we became proud owners of our very first home on wheels.
It wasn't long before we hit our first hurdle. We didn't actually have any license to drive the vehicle.
Fortunately, Luke was used to driving around the vans at work, and so he got his license upgraded in record time. We bought the vehicle on the Thursday evening. Luke went for his first lesson on the Monday morning, had his license by the Wednesday, and picked up the vehicle on the Thursday, and we were away for our first trip to Betsy Coed in North Wales on the Friday.
Probably couldn't have chosen a place with narrower roads, windier roads, and a worse place to go with such a big vehicle on day one.
Yeah.
I also installed the leisure batteries.
I have no idea how he did it on his own. They weigh about 50 kilos each.
And the 2 solar panels on the roof.
We also decorated the interior of the vehicle as it was quite outdated. The wallpaper made the walls look like they had dirty smears on. We will do a full tour of the van in a later episode, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. But now, sit tight and relax and watch a little bit about our adventure so far.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me.
Everywhere, absolutely everywhere. No, we've been to so many different places which we've enjoyed thoroughly.
I would say honestly it's probably too difficult to name 1, 2 or 3 places that have been sort of the best so far. We've been to so many amazing places, each special and different in their own unique ways. We've been to so many little towns and villages that I've never heard of and probably wouldn't have ever visited if we weren't in the RV.
If I have to narrow it down, I'd probably say Cinque Terre in Italy, Meteor in Greece and Split in Croatia. Luke's favourite place is Karlovac though.
What, Karlovac? No, that's one place I don't think I'm even welcome to go back to.
Only one place.
Just the one that we'll mention now.
Good morning. Luke's a nightmare. He crashed the drone last night.
What's up? I love visiting Zermatt in Switzerland and Greece. I absolutely loved Greece.
Luke absolutely loves everything.
Tzatziki, Greece have tzatziki. I love tzatziki. So I really love visiting Lago Maggiore.
It's one of the 3 famous lakes in the north of Italy. We have said that we'd really like to go to Garda and Como as well, which are the other 2.
Yeah, we were really fortunate when we went to Lago Maggiore because it was the beginning of April. The mountains had loads of snow on them still.
When we crossed over to Greece, we actually had to skip Sardinia and Sicily. I also feel like we didn't spend that much time in Greece. I was really itching to go there, but Luke wanted to stay in Italy. It would have been a lot nicer to be able to spend a lot more time there and even visit some of the islands.
Yeah, the southern parts of Greece would have been cool to visit a bit more. We only went down as far as the Corinth Canal and Athens. So Albania and Montenegro are really cool. We were a little bit worried visiting Albania for the first time. Obviously we'd watched a little bit too much of Top Gear and it would have been really cool to spend a bit more time there. Unfortunately, we only spent Friday night, Saturday and Sunday driving through the 2 countries because we were fixed on getting to the European Union by Monday morning, ready to log on and start work.
Next year we're planning on travelling through France, Spain and Portugal mainly, but we really hope to get up to Scandinavia at some point, but it might be the year after.
Yeah, it's only the opposite end of Europe.
So I blew up the inverter, which isn't a smart move. It's a bit of equipment that we have to convert 12 volt electricity to regular household plugs. And so it's a few £100 to replace. What's your silliest moment, Luke?
I've got too many of them. I normally do something silly every day.
Oh, what, like this morning when he left the headlights on and ran the battery flat?
For example.
And crashed the drone twice?
No, I think I've done about 4 times so far.
Don't admit that. Blowing up the tyre?
Several times.
No, the big one though was in Switzerland, when it almost exploded inside a petrol station.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. And what about drilling a hole in the roof and also one in the floor?
Yeah, the one in the floor wasn't needed. There's just a...
Nor was the one in the roof.
Well, the roof was half needed.
He drilled a hole in the roof. This is before we even left.
Should have cut our losses back then.
Yeah. He drilled a hole in the roof. It started raining, so he put a bucket over it. The water went under the bucket and down the hole and absolutely flooded the motorhome. The carpet was drenched.
He came in the next morning and it was raining more inside than it was outside.
You shouldn't look so chuffed with yourself. Thank you for watching our first ever vlog. We really hope you enjoyed it. We welcome any feedback, but please be nice. It is our first one. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a summary on where we've been to so far. But after that, we will be doing a weekly vlog on where we are, what we're up to, and what we're going to be doing. Next week, we'll be in Italy, so stay tuned for that. Expect lots of pizza, prosecco, and gelato. And please remember to subscribe.